Good morning. Welcome back to Agents Confidential. My name is Yana, and we are officially shifting into AEP mode around here. So we are about 8 weeks away from the start of annual enrollment period, which somehow feels like plenty of time and no time at all. And if you're hearing 8 weeks until AEP and immediately start thinking about the 47 things that you still need to do, that's exactly why we're starting this countdown early. So over the next several weeks, we're going to do a countdown to AEP together, but I definitely don't want this series to feel like another giant list of things that you should be doing right now. You have enough of those. Instead, we're just going to focus on one thing that you can do to make October a little bit easier on yourself. And this week, we are starting with something incredibly simple. Take inventory. What I mean by this is, where are you actually at? Before you add another thing to your AEP checklist, take a minute to figure out where you actually stand. Not where you think you should, not where another agent says they are, not where you hope you'd be back in June, but where you are today. So things to ask yourself: have I finished AHIP and my carrier certifications? Is my contracting squared away? Do I know which clients I'll immediately need to reach out to? Are all my client records and CRM up to date? That's a big one. Do I have a plan for communicating with my book? What does my calendar look like once October 15 arrives, or even really the 1st if you start talking to clients about plans before then? Are there any administrative things I keep saying, I'll get to that later? And maybe most importantly, what unfinished thing is going to create the most stress for me if it's still sitting there in October? And that could be a personal thing too. But that's probably where you need to start. Now, don't feel like you need to fix everything today. Here's the important part. Taking inventory does not mean looking at that list and deciding you have to finish everything today. Don't do that to yourself. You don't need to. The whole reason we are starting this countdown now is because we have time. If there are 8 things that need your attention, and roughly 8 weeks until AEP, you don't have 8 emergencies. You have a plan. So figure out what needs to happen first, finish that, and then move on to the next thing. The goal isn't to arrive to October 15 completely exhausted from preparing for AEP. The goal is to arrive prepared enough so that you can actually focus on what matters once AEP begins, and that's your clients. This is also a really good time for you to take a look at the small things that tend to become surprisingly annoying once you're busy. Maybe there's a carrier certification you've been putting off. Maybe your voicemail needs to be updated. Maybe your voicemail needs to be cleared out. Maybe there are client notes sitting somewhere that need to make it into your CRM. Maybe you need to organize your calendar, create appointment blocks, something like that. Maybe there are people that you know you need to contact. None of those things necessarily feel urgent in August. However, October you is going to feel very grateful that August you handled them. Anything that you can reasonably take off your plate right now is one less thing competing with your attention and your time when phones start ringing. And while you are taking inventory, don't only look at your task list. Think about the experience you're creating for your clients as well. How are they going to know what to expect from you during AEP? How will they schedule with you? What happens when they call? What information do you need from them before an appointment? What questions are you answering over and over and over every year that you could answer proactively right now? Because preparation isn't just about making your AEP easier, it's also about making the process easier for your clients too. The more clarity that you can create before October, the less confusion everyone has once you're in the middle of it. So that's your assignment this week. Give yourself 20 to 30 minutes this week. Write down everything that's already done and write down everything that's still hanging over your head. And then circle the one thing that would make you feel significantly more prepared if it were finished. And then you start there. You don't need to solve AEP today. You just need to make sure that you're moving forward intentionally. We are going to keep doing this every week as we get closer to October 15. Once a week, one focus, one more thing off your plate. So as we get closer, we'll talk about book of business, client outreach, calendars, systems, communication, and eventually how you're going to protect your time and your own energy once AEP actually begins. The goal of this countdown is not to make you feel like you should be doing more. It's to help you walk into AEP feeling prepared for the work that you are already going to do. AEP is not won by scrambling harder in October. It is built by preparing intentionally before October gets here. So this week, take inventory, figure out where you are, pick your next thing, and we'll take it from there. We'll see you next week on Agents Confidential.